3, stand 25 for the push.
I'm at 603, pushing start approved, facing east, QNH 1002.
We push to the east, I'm at 603.
Guided by 454, request pushing start.
Sky by 454, say again.
Guided by 454, request pushing start.
Sky by 454, pushing start approved, facing north on Mike, report rate taxi.
Pushing start approved, facing north and Mike, guided by 454.
Qantas 210, request taxi.
Qantas 210, taxi via Papa, left correction right on Echo, hold short hotel 25 left, QNH 1002.
By the Echo, hold short hotel, QNH 1002, Qantas 210.
Correct.
Karachi ground, good evening, Express India 885, request radio check.
Express India 885, Karachi ground, frequency 121.6, readability 5 per 5, how do you copy?
Radio 5, Express India 885, thank you.
We're going to add 6 requests of pushback stand 22.
Cyber Speedboat 1926, pushing Sarpi facing south, report reach taxi.
Southern pushback approved facing south, will report when ready for taxi. Speedboat 106.
Emirates 603, taxi.
Emirates 603, taxi via Kilo Papa, right on Echo, and the whole shot of hotel on the 255 report ready for departure. QNH 1002.
Okay, Papa Echo, hold short 25 Left Hotel, QNH 1002, Emirates 603.
Contest 210, contact Karachi Tower 118.3, have a safe flight, bye-bye.
118.3, have a good day. Thanks, Qantas 210.
Alright, chat, you guys can hear me? Am I audible properly? Over the air traffic control?
Discovered by 332, hold position, caution traffic on your right side. There's a holding at taxiway.
Started by 332, hold started by 454, taxi.
Discovered by 454, taxi via Mike, right on Echo, hold short of hotel on the 25 left, report notification, QNH 100.
Taxi by Mike, Echo, hold short on the 25 left on hotel and QNH 1002, started by 454.
Discovered by 332, after the company traffic passes from your right to left, pushing Sarapur facing north.
Karachi ground, good evening, Etihad 01 Alpha, the cargo ramp stand 71, fully ready for push. Information Alpha.
Last station calling Sampai.
Karachi Tower, good evening, via Pakistan 207, request.
Alright, so I'm just loading the route onto the FMC. After this, I'll just call air traffic control for our clearance to Dubai. Today we're flying to Dubai.
Push button to start the approach facing north.
And I have the latest information. Latest information is Alpha. QNH is 1002.
Squawk 3426, Etihad
It's
01 Alpha.
really busy at Karachi airport right now. There's a lot of people participating in the event.
Pushback the approved,
I'm just waiting
18 east
for a chance to speak.
Echo, will call Etihad 01 Alpha.
Emirates 603, contact tower on 118.3, bye-bye.
Tower 183, Emirates 603, g'day.
Pakistan 307, expect 2 minutes delay due traffic pushing back at your right side.
So today we're carrying 16,400 pounds of fuel. And I'll just set the payload to random. Make sure all the doors are closed. And we'll set the parking brake. And I'll just remove the wheel chocks. Logo and wing lights will go on, and we'll come back to the rest of it after we have our clearance.
Pakistan 207, are you able to face west on Kilo?
From here I just need to see how many passengers I have on board today. Okay, this is far too less. Need to randomize it again. Okay.
Pakistan 207, Roger pushing
So we have 120 passengers
west
on board.
Kilo and expect a taxi via Mike.
And let's consider it 6 crew. So that makes us 26 souls on board. We have information Alpha. Our stand is 24, so let's call Karachi ground. Karachi ground, good evening, Express India 885, stand 24, information Alpha, 126, person through security, request IFR to Dubai as filed.
Express India 885, Karachi ground, hello, clear to Dubai, Melam 3 for departure, runway 25 left, and initial ground level 060, scope 3434.
We do not have Melam 3 Alpha, can we take Melam 1 Foxtrot for 25 left?
Express India 885, no problem. Recleared Belem 1 Fox at departure 25 left.
Clear destination Dubai, Belem 1 Fox for departure runway 25 left. Initial climb 6,000 feet. Expecting final level 340. Squawk 3434. Express India 885.
Express India 885, that's level 060, repack correct, report ready for push and start.
We'll go 885. Okay, so with that we have our clearance. First thing is I'm going to put in the squawk code, which is 34.
Skydive 454, contact tower 118.3, yeah.
118.3, have a
And that is good enough for now. I'll just go for the performance initialization and I'll request that from the FMC.
Speedbird 1296, ready for taxi.
Correction, Speedbird 1296, taxi onto November right on Echo, Hotel runway 25 left, QNH 1003.
Wilco OPS. So Dheer is in the chat. Dheer is a real world pilot and he helps me a lot with my videos to keep it realistic. Reduce ATC voice. Okay, let me reduce the ATC channel in just a moment.
Straight ahead on November, then right on Echo, and we'll hold short hotel 26 left. Speedbird 196.
Confirm that's 25 left.
Just let me know if this is better. I've reduced the ATC sound a little bit. I should make it a bit better. Ambient noise, yeah man, there's like all sorts of ambient noise in the background.
Karachi ground, Skydive 332, request taxi.
Wilco OPS. There's very few times that I remember to say Wilco. Okay, our performance is ready. I'll just load the performance. And my final level is 340, so I'll put that in.
Yes, Karachi 322, traffic pushing back HHN from Salamat, location 14, that should be blocking your taxiway. I'll clear you up soon for the taxi.
Transition altitude, transition level at Karachi right now. Let me check the ATIS. 1 second. Transition altitude. So this is the chart I asked them for. Melum 1 Foxtrot departure. This is the departure routing. It mentions over here transition altitude is 3000 feet, and even the QNH, even the ATIS says 3000. So I'll just go ahead and plug that into the simulator. So it says transition altitude by default it's 18,000 because that is what it is in the USA. So I'll just put that in. N1 limit, we have a long runway. I can take 22k D-rate.
Contact Karachi Tower 118.3, yeah.
Alright, there's no free for the service.
Flaps will be 5 for takeoff. It will calculate CG trim 5.86. I'll just set the trim to 5.86 roughly. Okay, that should be it. I have to fill in the V speeds now. V speeds will come after I fill in the departure. So we have runway 25 left. And they clear us for Melum 1 Foxtrot departure. Execute. Routing takeoff. It's suggesting values, but I will not take it from here. I'll take it from the electronic flight bag. So performance. Weight and balance. Read from aircraft. And I'll complete this one. Airport we can take from the FMC. Thrust I set to take off 2. Flaps is flaps 5. Air conditioning is going to be on, anti-ice is going to be off. Conditions are dry, there is no rain at the moment. QNH is 1002. We got this from the ATIS, so QNH 1002. Winds, I don't remember. Let me check. The winds from the ATIS.
332.
As per the ATIS, the winds are...
Skydive 322, sir, Mobile taxi by Mike and Echo, right on Echo, Hotel runway 25 left.
2 degrees.
Skydive 332, taxi Mike
0 degrees.
and Echo Hotel runway
And 10 knots.
left.
Let me reduce air traffic control more.
Just to confirm, you can pass by traffic on Kilo.
Skydive 332,
So with that, it should allow me to calculate the V speeds. And yeah, so V1 is the speed after which I cannot abort the takeoff. I am committed to taking off. So 136, 138, 144. 136, 138, and 144. Okay.
Good evening.
Auto brakes to RTO. RTO is rejected takeoff. In case I decide to reject the takeoff, it will apply full braking, maximum braking.
Emirates 248 case to Dubai via Madam 1 Foxtrot departure runway 25 left. Initial climb flight 7060 walk 3.
There I've reduced the ATC volume even more now. I hope this is a bit better. Okay, I think I'm fully ready for pushback and startup. I'll just turn on the terrain radar, traffic radar, zoom in, turn on the TCAS, because you have to turn on mode Charlie TCAS because a lot of these airports these days have surface movement radars, so they require us to be mode Charlie before they allow us to push and start. I'll go through this quickly now. Fuel pumps on, yaw damper on, probe heat on, electric hydraulic P on, engine hydraulic A off. Flight level is 340, so I'll set that in the pressurization panel so that the aircraft knows how much to pressurize. Initial climb is 6,000 feet, so I'll set it over here. Heading I'll set to runway heading, and I'll just open the taxi charts and show you what the runway heading is going to be.
207, hold short with Mike, give way to traffic A3.
So here we have the
Echo.
surface airport chart for Karachi. We have runway 25 left, runway heading is 254. So I'm just going to hop back into my simulator now and set the heading as 254. 254, VNAV, LNAV, and what was my V2, 144, so I'll set 144 over here. I'm setting 144 over here because V2 plus 20 knots is automatically bugged by the PFD.
In the 25 left, initial climb level 060, 3400.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting? Hopefully not. So we'll ask for pushback and start up now.
Roger, calling standby, Pacific 5, station Karachi 106, feedback.
Magma 3 Alpha departure, our side left, initial climb 360, and flight 3400, scheduled by 106.
Karachi 106, just confirm squawk is 3, your squawk is 3400.
Yes sir, squawk 3400, scheduled by 106.
So I'm somewhere over here on this stand. I'm expecting pushback to be facing west, and then I'll probably get taxi runway 25 left via Kilo, Papa, Echo, and holding point hotel or Foxtrot. We can do both. We could do both. We'll just see what the ATC has to say. So now I'll just wait for a chance to speak. Arul wants to know about the aircraft. What about the aircraft, Arul? I'll try to explain as I go, as much as I can. And I'm just trying to find some space on the frequency to push back and start.
1511 Karachi ground, go ahead.
So basically I'll just give you a brief. This is the mode control panel. This is basically the entire autopilot, most of it. This is the IAS mark, this is the speed I want the aircraft to fly. Heading is the direction I want the aircraft to fly. Altitude is the height I want the aircraft to fly at. So I've set all of this up. Now I have to, we're standing at the gate right now. It's very dark because the lighting is not good at this airport. But you can see there are other aircrafts. You can see their position lights. These green and red lights are called position lights. The red light will always be on the left wing and the green light will always be on the right wing. I'm also ready to push and start, so I'll turn on the this anti-collision light. You'll see red lights will start blinking on the top and bottom of my aircraft. This basically tells the ground crew to go away from the aircraft because I'm about to start. My engines start moving, things like that. You can see the jet bridge is also disconnecting now.
Push and start with quick Pakistan 207 taxi
Yes, it's Boeing. This is a Boeing 737-800. Dheer, you know this very well, bro. You're a real world pilot. Oh man. So yeah, for all those who are joining us right now, Dheer Verma is a real world pilot and he helps me be as realistic on the simulator as possible. So huge shout out and thanks to Dheer. I'll be looking at the chat very less because this is a very hectic phase of flight before I take off. Technically it's supposed to be sterile cockpit. Sterile cockpit is when we don't talk about anything else but the flight, because this is a very busy time for pilots. Alright, after this guy gets his clearance or whatever, I'll ask ATC for push and start.
I'm at 248, push and start approved, facing west on my discussion, west on Kilo.
Push and start approved, facing west on Kilo, Emirates 248.
Express India 885, request push and start.
Have a safe flight, bye-bye.
Shit, I blocked someone's transmission. So we are on talking on the frequency, only one person can speak at a time. If two people speak at the same time, you'll hear a weird noise. That noise is called a heterodyne squeal, and nobody can hear what's going on. Karachi ground, Express India 885, request push and start, stand 25, information alpha.
Express India 885, push and start approved, facing east QNH 1003, report for to taxi.
Facing east, we'll go Express India 885. Okay, so I was not expecting that. He is pushing us facing... Oh yeah, sorry, facing east, of course. Right is east. I was trying to lose my mind now. So, pushback, it's going to be... Standard L, tug will be selected. We want the nose to turn left, because we are currently facing 160. This is my current heading, this is 160. 164 rather. Heading of 164 corresponds to somewhere around southeast. So we want our nose to be on the left. East is heading 090. That is, as you can see, the numbers are reducing as you go to the left. So that's where I want my nose to be, and I'll request for push.
For pushback and start, they want the tail to our right.
Copy that, ready to push. Tail to the right. Parking brakes release, please.
Okay, so it's asked me to release the parking brake. I release the parking brake, and while we're pushing back, I'll start the engines. So now to start the engines, I have to turn off the air conditioning, because the air conditioning uses a lot of the air from the APU. The APU is a small generator in the tail of the aircraft, and that gives us air to start the engine. So I'll turn off the air conditioning. You can start switch number 2 to ground, and then I'll monitor the panel over here, waiting for 24% N2, and then I'll introduce fuel to idle, sorry. This number, when it reaches 24, I'll introduce some fuel into the aircraft, into the engine, and then we'll start the combustion. And there we have 24% N2, fuel cut off to idle. At 56% N2, you will hear a click. The starter will automatically click back to normal. We are pushing back, as you can see, and you heard that click. We can start engine number 1 now. We don't have any fuel in the center tanks, as you can see over here, so the center tank fuel pumps will remain off. This is how much fuel I have. I have 16,000 pounds of fuel, which is enough fuel to fly for 3 hours, but we only need to fly for 1.5 hours. 24% N1, fuel cut off to idle. And they have pushed us back a little bit to the right of the taxiway, but that's not a problem. He's asking me to set the parking brake now, which I have set.
Brake set.
248, ready to taxi.
So while this is happening, I'll quickly see what kind of taxi I'm expecting. I'm expecting taxi via Kilo Papa Echo Hotel, 225 left.
Emirates 248 taxi via Mike, can you repeat the remaining please?
Let's 248, disregard lost transmission, continue
Start
taxi
cut out
Mike, Echo
within
4
switches to
of November.
continuous. Turn on the hydraulics, electrical bus to the generators, APU off, APU bleed off, packs on, isolation of all water.
Emirates
And
248,
I also need to
1003.
set one more thing. The way elevation is 33 feet, as you can see over here, this says landing altitude. It's 33 feet, we round it up, 50 feet it's going to be. I'm now ready to taxi, I'll just set flaps 5. You can see this, this dial will go all the way right to 5 because I'm taking flaps 5 degrees of flaps.
Affirmative.
Let's see if we can see them extending on the surface of the wings or not. I don't know if you can see, but the flaps are coming down slowly. It's too dark to see.
Islamabad, departure 1 Delta departure runway 25 left, initial ground level 060, squawk 3466.
Control Blue 222 by destination Islamabad Golf on route Golf 301 Badal 1 attack.
Until then I'll do a quick control services check. Full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder left, rudder right, spoilers, check. Control services check is good. I can turn off the tablet now. And
that's 248 free clear taxi via
as soon as the frequency gets free, I'll ask them for taxi. Also, before that, I have to tune in the other frequencies now. So next, I will be handed over to tower controller. His frequency is 118.3. So I'll go to my radio panel, 118.3. I'll keep it ready because I don't have time to switch it again and again. And then we have the approach slash departure 125.5. 125.5. This is the VHF frequency in megahertz. I need to tune the correct frequency to be able to talk to the correct people. And then we have Karachi Center 126.525. 126.525. Frequency is empty. I'll ask for taxi. Express India 885 request taxi.
Express India 885 taxi via Papa, hold short of Kilo.
Taxi via Papa, hold short of Kilo, Express India 885. So, what did he just say? Taxi via Papa, hold short of Kilo.
222 Tower 118.3, have a safe flight to Islam, bye-bye.
Tower 23, bye-bye, Blue 222, good day.
Okay, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. He said taxi via Papa, hold short of Kilo. Did he mean Kilo, hold short of Papa? Dheer, I'll get to your question in a bit, man. The green light is the taxi center light, blue light is the taxi edge light. Karachi ground, Express India 885. Confirm taxi Kilo, hold short Papa?
Nice from hold short Papa.
Roger, taxi Kilo, hold short Papa, Express India 885. Okay, so the controller, either I heard it wrong or the controller switched them up. But we are taxiing Kilo, holding short Papa. So let's go. Okay. First thing I have to do is take a slight left turn, cut bit release, and we'll give the engines a little bit of thrust, and you can hear them spool up. We'll start taking a bit to the left because we are pushed a little bit to the right. He wants me to hold short of Papa. You can see here the ground marking says Kilo. Kilo is in black, Papa is in not black. Black means I am on the taxiway, and the other thing is telling me that if I turn left, I'll be on taxiway Papa. And in aviation, we use aviation phonetics, so A is Alpha, B is Bravo, K is Kilo, P is Papa, so that is why we are speaking like this. I'll just dim the lights a little bit because now I need my eyes to adjust to the outside a little bit. So I'll make the lights dim now. Hold short of Papa. So that means I'm not sure if I can take a left and then hold short or. Okay, so you can see there's an aircraft.
885, follow the Emirates 248 A320.
Follow the Emirates A320 in front of us, Express 885. So that aircraft you can see on the right, he's asked me to follow that aircraft.
Have a safe flight to Dubai, bye-bye.
So from here we're going to take a right.
Over to tower at 118.3. Emirates 248, thank you, bye bye.
And in the hurry I forgot to turn on the taxi lights. So we have to turn on taxi lights while taxiing so that others can see where we are going, we can see where we are going, we can see if there is any debris, things like that. There's a little bit of a scenery mismatch because he seems to be taxiing on the right of the taxiway, but that's not a problem. Yeah, this is called VATSIM. Anushka is here. Captain Shiv Kapoor, thank you, thank you. This is P3D, Prepared 3D. This is not FSX, this is not Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is Prepared 3D. It's by Lockheed Martin, and I have to check something with air traffic control. Express India 85 confirm holding point hotel for us.
Number Express India 885 for Merit and contact our 118.3 now, bye bye.
4 to tower 118.3, Express India 885. Have a great evening, bye bye. So he has switched us to tower frequency 1, that is 118.3. He said contact tower, not monitor tower. If the ATC says monitor tower, means just listen to them, don't say anything. He said contact tower, so I'll just tell him. Karachi tower, good evening, Express India 885 on holding short 25 left, hotel.
Express India 885, Karachi tower, hello to you, Roger. Pakistan 207, contact Karachi, approach 125.
So I'm waiting behind all of these aircrafts to take off.
25.5.
There's a long line for takeoff. Let's see if there's anybody behind me.
Bye.
There's nobody behind me right now. And there are 3 aircrafts in front of me. I've not been able to look at chat right now because as you can see it's exceptionally busy at the moment. As soon as I get some time I'll look at the chat.
Air Blue 222, runway 25 left to clear for takeoff, the surface wind 240 degrees 08 knots.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
Static.
So we have advised the cabin crew to take seats for takeoff. We can just give them a short ping once and maintain center line. And I'll just stop over here, set parking brake because there seems to be a downwards gradient. If I don't hold the brakes, my aircraft keeps creeping forward. Okay, I didn't know how you understand anything. Oh man, it's just 8 years of practice. What is hold short? Hold short, it's hold short, holding short. It means that I'm waiting, basically I'm waiting. It's called VATSIM, yeah, this network is called VATSIM. It is very funny when I say Papa, but it is aviation phonetic. I need some VR glasses for this, at least I can pretend to go home this way. How many on board? We have 126 souls on board, that means 120 passengers, 6 crew members.
Airblue 222, 555 now. Okay, we're clear for takeoff. Hey, from Airblue 222, runway 25 left to clear for takeoff.
The guy on the taxiway, on the runway right is cleared for takeoff. If you heard the ATC say cleared for takeoff.
Emirates 248 behind the departing Airblue Airbus A320 via hotel line of 25 left behind.
The next aircraft has gotten a line up and wait instruction also.
Departing aircraft, line up and wait. Emirates 248.
So he's going to line up. I am number 2 for departure now. I'll just stop here. Details of the aircraft. The aircraft is a Boeing 737-800 Air India Express. The lighting on this airport is not good, so you can't really see the livery, but you can see a little bit of it. It's an Air India Express flight, Boeing 737-800. If you guys want a tour of the cockpit, if that is what you mean, just say that in chat. I might have a few minutes before takeoff, so I could do that. But let me just hold up, just pull up to the hold short bars over here. So on the ground you will see one dotted line and one solid line.
To contact Karachi approach 125.5.
That is the whole short bar. If I cross that, I will be in a lot of trouble. Here, you can see there are dotted lines and then there is a solid line. If I cross this, I will get scolded very badly. What's the screen in front of me? Screen in front of me, I'll tell you after takeoff. Because this guy is about to get his takeoff clearance. Let me take this right now. This screen over here is called the PFD, Primary Flight Display. The blue is sky, the brown is ground. It tells me my pitch and my bank angle, how much am I rolling. This guy got his takeoff clearance right now.
Runway 25 left, Emirates.
So he just said clear for takeoff runway 25. You can see hotel H is written in black, so I am currently at hotel runway 25 left. I am next. He's probably going to give me line up and wait.
India
See.
885 behind the departing Emirates Airbus A320 via hotel runway 25 left behind.
Behind the departing A320 via hotel line up and wait runway 25 left behind Express India 885. So there. Half of the things you know what they are saying is because you are expecting them anyways. So he's gone. What I'll do is I am about to enter an active runway. So I'm going to turn on my landing lights and I'm going to put my strobe lights to position lights to strobe. So you can see that big blinky lighty thingy has come on. Let me just line up on the runway now. It's about to get very busy. So yeah, the screen you can see on the leftmost is the primary flight display. It tells me the attitude of the aircraft. Where am I pointed? Am I pointing to the sky? Am I pointing to the ground? How much bank angle? Bank angle is roll. How much am I rolling the aircraft left to right? The one on the right is the radar. You can see it's rotating when I rotate the aircraft. It's the radar, it tells me where I'm going. It's basically like the GPS of the aircraft. It actually works on, it uses GPS along with inertial navigation to tell me where I'm going. So now I'm lined up. You can see a big 25 written on the runway. And there is left also written, but that's under my aircraft, so you can't see that right now. I am awaiting takeoff clearance now. I'll just align myself a bit better. So my heading should be 254. Yeah. So you can see this tells me where I'm pointed right now. You can see this is called the TCAS. You can see this diamond which is in front of me taking this left turn. That is the aircraft.
Contact Karachi approach 125.5. Bye bye.
125.5. See, he gave him Karachi.
Contact Karachi approach 125.
Karachi approach. So I'll keep this ready.
Emirates 248. Thank you.
Very soon he's going to give me my takeoff clearance now, and you'll hear that in a bit. You can see this red color commercial jet written. That is the aircraft which took off in front of me. These 4 red lights over here, they're called the PAPI lights. Precision approach path indicator. They tell you if you're too high or too low while landing the aircraft. Dheer is always very... His suggestions are very valuable to the channel. He helps me fix things to make them even more real world like. So that's good, Dheer. Just let me know if as a first time viewer anything that I should explain to the people watching as well. This is the engine display, the third from the left. Engine display tells me my engine parameters. So N1 rotation, exhaust gas temperature, so it's roughly 450 degrees Celsius is the temperature of the air coming out. He is not giving me takeoff clearance, that's fine. Fuel flow, how much fuel am I consuming, oil pressure, oil temperature, oil quantity, vibration, all of that good stuff, hydraulic pressure, brake temperatures, all of that. Using reserve fuel, how much reserve fuel did we have? Okay, we might eat into our reserve fuels a little bit.
Express India 885 runway 25 left, clear for takeoff to surface wind 240 degrees 08 knots.
Clear for takeoff 25 left, Express India 885, and there I have my takeoff clearance. I'll hold the brakes. I'll set the N1 to 40%, let the engines spool up, stabilize, and then I'll press the toga button. The toga button is on the throttles, but since that's hard to do, I can press a hot spot over here. We are accelerating for takeoff now. Radio channels, there are radio frequencies. There are a lot of radio frequencies. I'm not sure how many there can be, but there has to be a minimum amount of gap between each frequency. I'll answer questions in a bit now. I have to perform the takeoff. So you will hear the aircraft call out V1 and then we rotate. Rotate is where I pull the nose back and positive weight, gear up. I forgot something very crucial. Flight directors on and VNAV and LNAV. We can fix that quickly. Left turn is coming up now, so I'll follow the flight directives. Flight directives is that magenta cross you can see on the primary flight display. That is the flight director. It tells me how to position the aircraft in pitch and roll so that I can follow my planned route. The tape on the left is my speed. So 170 knots is my speed, and the tape on the right is my altitude, 2400. I'll turn on the autopilot now because I have other duties to perform. I'll retract the flaps, brakes auto, landing gear off, and we'll get a handover to Karachi approach now. It's Karachi departures, but it's the same frequency, so he might say approach. I already have the frequency over here. I just have to press this one button to switch me over to COM 2. The aircraft is now being flown by the autopilot. You can see the CMD written over here. That means the
Express India 885, contact Karachi approach 125.5. Bye-bye.
Karachi approach at 125.5, Express India 885. Thank you for ATC services and have a great evening. Bye-bye.
You too, bye. Copy it over to 26525, that'll be 222, bye-bye.
Karachi approach, good evening, Express India 885, crossing 5002, crossing flight level 53, climbing flight level 60.
Good evening, Alpha X Bravo 885, this is Karachi Control, climbing, this is Karachi approach, climbing Indian flight 160, thank you.
Climb flight level 160, Express India 885. So he cleared me to climb to flight level 160.
Flight level 5, to see direct waypoint Melam.
Direct waypoint Melam, Mike Echo Lima Oscar Mike, Express India 885. He gave me a shortcut to go direct to Melam. So you will see the aircraft take a very sharp right turn now. I don't know if you can see outside, but we're taking a right turn now. You can see it here as well. Clear to flight level 160. Flight level 160. Flight level basically means altitude. 160. We just say the first three digits. So flight level 160 means 16,000 feet. I'll square up my heading bug now to match my next heading, because sometimes the controller can say maintain present heading and I don't want to fumble around at that time. So I'll square up the heading bug.
Over to 126.525.
Zoom into the display. Just give me one moment. As soon as I am out of this critical phase of flight, I'll zoom into each display and tell. There's one thing that is wrong over here. Actually, I have to go to the index performance. Reserves are going to be 2,500 actually. Yeah. So that the FMC doesn't shout at us anymore. Okay, cool. So we'll go over all the displays now. This is the first display. This is called the primary flight display. This left side pay tape is called the speed tape. This is my speed in nautical miles. 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.85 kilometers. I am currently at 250 knots. Crossing 10,000 feet, I have certain things to do. External lights off. Start switches to normal, and we can release the flight attendants from their seat now, so they can prepare whatever they have to prepare. Seatbelt signs will go off once I cross let's say flight level 160, then I'll turn off the fasten seatbelt signs. So this is the first display. It's called the PFD, primary flight display. It gives me information about my aircraft, such as speed, so 288 knots. Altitude, we are climbing through 12,000 feet now, and we are climbing up to 16,000 feet. This magenta number over here is my target speed, target altitude, and this is my target speed. Current altitude is 12,400 now. Next over here is called the ND, the navigation display. The navigation display tells me where I am, where I have to go. It gives me terrain information. It tells me winds. So over here you can see my ground speed is 384 knots, my true air speed is 367 knots. There is a slight difference between this, but it's a bit complicated. I'll not go into that at the moment. These are the winds. I have a 25 knot headwind coming from that direction. The next waypoint is Melum. I am 16 nautical miles away from it, and I should reach there at 16:41 Zulu. What happened to my time? Something's wrong with my clock, but that's fine. The next display is the engine display. This tells me engine information. So N1 is how much percentage of thrust I'm using. You can take it, it's not exactly that, but you can take it as the amount of thrust that I'm using. I'm using 95% of the total thrust capacity of the engines. Dheer will correct me if I'm wrong over here. Okay, we are leveling off now. We'll request further climb. Or is it a restriction? It's not a restriction. We'll just wait for the ATC to tell us to climb more. So yeah, engine display tells us how much thrust of the total thrust capacity of the engines I'm using. EGT is exhaust gas temperature. The exhaust gases coming out of the engine. So the air coming out is say again for Express India 885.
Contact Karachi control on 126.525.
Karachi Center at 126.525. Express India 885. Have a great evening. Bye bye. I almost missed my transmission over there. So just a moment. Karachi control. Karachi radar. Good evening. Express India 885. Flight level 160. Squawking 3434.
To continue to climb flight level 360.
Confirm 330 for Express India 885.
Express India 885 negative. I was calling Sky Dubai 332. Continue to climb flight level 360, please.
Sky Dubai 332. Continue to climb 360.
Melum is a waypoint. You can see over here.
Karachi Center MS 248 requesting further climb, please.
There's Melum written over here. It's a waypoint.
8 continue to climb flight level 220.
Continue climb flight level 220 MS 248.
Express India 885 request for the climb.
Identified time flight level 180.
Flight level 180 Express India 885.
Speedbird 3, correction, Sky Dubai 332, report your Mach number.
Sky Dubai 332, Mark 78.
Etihad 01 Alpha, report your Mach number.
75 Etihad 01 Alpha.
Sky Dubai 332, maintain Mach decimal 75 or greater.
Sky Dubai 332, maintain Mark 75.
Sky Dubai 332, correction to my last permission, maintain Mach decimal 78 or greater.
Skyway 332, maintain 78.
Etihad 01 Alpha, maintain Mach decimal 75 or less.
Maintain Mach 75 or less, Etihad 01.
You guys can see here, this is my aircraft. And there are so many aircrafts flying right now.
Etihad 724, Karachi.
Etihad 724, go ahead.
Etihad 724, he's talking to this guy right now.
Are you able to climb flight level 380 or flight level 400?
380, confirm.
Etihad said protect, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climbing 380, Etihad 724.
Okay, so
Etihad 01 Alpha, country climb flight level 320.
Climb flight level 320, Etihad 01 Alpha. Confirm this is our final?
Etihad 01 Alpha negative. You'll check for the climb very soon. Stand by.
Roger, Etihad 01. Karachi control, good evening sir. This is
it is very busy on the frequency right now. Just give me a moment.
276, flight direct to Malam, 1 per mile.
Pakistan 207, continue climb flight level 260.
Climb please, flight level 260, Pakistan 207.
Etihad 01 Alpha, disregard. Number 248, continue climb flight level 260.
Flight level 260, Emirates 248.
Karachi control, good evening sir. Stay about 106, VATSIM, flight level 192.
Express India 885, continue climb flight level 220.
Flight level 220, Express India 885.
Karachi control, good evening sir. This is Stay device number 6.
Okay, so someone was asking what is Melum. Melum, and now you can see
Yes,
Punel over
I
here.
heard you. I will call you back. I have a lot of traffic. You are identified. Continue climb flight level 200.
These are all waypoints. Waypoints are like checkpoints in the sky where I have to fly. So it's like if you were on GPS, you would say like go straight, take left, something like that. So I have to hit all of these checkpoints one by one. They are my route in the sky.
106, I can give you maximum 5 minutes.
I can demonstrate this through the Navigraph chart as well. Let me just switch to the Navigraph scene. Okay. So let me just close this, and this is the en route chart.
Went back to 136.
You can see this magenta triangle. This is where I am right now. We took off in this direction. We went to Melum. This is a checkpoint, waypoint. I have to go to Punel, then Parrot, all of this, all the way to Dubai. It is Dubai over here.
Roger.
This is the en route chart and my entire flight plan.
You told me flight level 200 or 300 for
So these are waypoints, basically checkpoints in the sky.
137, you are leaving my airspace. Contact Muscat control now. 132.1.
You can see the aircraft is shaking right now. We are facing a little bit of turbulence. I don't know if you guys saw that, but okay, it's very dark outside. I'll just turn on the lights now so that I can show you the cockpit a bit better.
137, you are leaving my airspace. Contact Muscat control now on 123.905.
123.905, goodbye, minutes 137.
How high can this aircraft fly up to? The maximum service ceiling is, I don't remember, it's either 39,000 feet or 42,000 feet, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so you guys can see the cockpit better now. These two levers over here control the engine thrust. It's like the accelerator of the aircraft. The more forward I push them, the more thrust the engines will produce. If I pull them back, the engines will spool back and they will not produce thrust. So this is that. These two levers, if I pull them down, the engines will turn off, and we definitely don't want that.
Pakistan 207, continue climb flight level 320.
So we covered these three displays. This is the mode control panel. This is basically the autopilot. I am telling it how high to go, which direction to fly, all of that. This is the speed. Speed is blank right now because it's following
speeds
that I programmed into the FMC. This is called the CDU, the I forgot the full form, but this is the CDU. It's powered by the FMC. FMC is the flight management computer. It's the computer that manages a lot of systems on board the aircraft. So I can control the speed from here. I'm in the climb phase right now. So you can see 291, 291. Since we're climbing right now. We can turn off the fasten seatbelt signs for the passengers now, so they can roam around.
Etihad 724, report your Mach number.
Etihad 724, flight level.
Can there be a co-pilot, like multiplayer cooperating? Yes, there can be. There can be, and we can operate it over the internet. Right now it's empty.
Number 0.7191.
Etihad 724, maintain Mach decimal 81 or greater.
Say again.
So how I know when the ATC is talking to me is they'll say my call sign before saying something. So they'll say Express India 885 something something something. You can see he's always going to start with a
1432
call sign. So any transmission that begins with Express India 885, I have to pay attention because it's for me. It's like being in a chat room in the air. Everybody's on the same channel. Each controller has their own channel.
EPS 724, our current Mach is 0.79.
Yes, I would like you to maintain 81 or greater, please. Mach decimal 81 or greater.
Maintaining Mach 81, EPS 724.
Etihad 724, you're shortening my space contact musket control on 123.95.
Over here is this is called the overhead panel. There are a lot of switches over here which control a lot of things on the aircraft. This section is for the fuel. This is for electricity on the aircraft. This is for navigation. This is for hydraulics. These are the passenger signs. These buttons in the bottom, except these two dials. The rest are all controlling lighting of the aircraft. These two are engine start switches. They start the engine. They control the starters in the engine. This is the air conditioning panel. So if I turn this to the left, the aircraft will become colder. The cabin will become colder.
603 Karachi.
He's not giving me a higher altitude now, so I'm going to ask for it myself.
603, maintain Mach decimal 79, please.
79, Emmet 603.
The tablet is the electronic flight bag. I'll come to the electronic flight bag in just a minute.
Started by 216, I'll call you back shortly. Express India 885, continue climb flight level 260.
Level 260, Express India 885. Okay, I was just about to call him to ask higher altitude.
Started by 2106, expect climb in about 18 nautical.
I'm keeping the ATC a bit louder so that I can hear them. I'll just speak when the ATC is not speaking. Alright, so this is the electronic flight bag. It has a lot of... It basically helps the pilots with a lot of calculations and information. Like, it gives me my performance information. It can...
Report your flight level, please. Are you on flight level 360?
It can show me the terminal charts. So if I want to see Dubai charts, see, this is the Dubai airport chart.
Are you on MSFS, my friend?
Affirmative. I'm afraid.
Oh, it's okay. Maintain flight level 360.
So this is the ground chart for Dubai. It looks a bit complicated, but this is the runway we are planning to land on. This runway at the bottom. This is runway 30 left. We are expecting this runway. The top one you can see 30 right is written. That is a departure runway. So yeah, this gives us, this is the best friend of a pilot. It gives us, there are utilities, there are stopwatches, calculators, converters. I can see the video. So this is, there are cameras. There are cameras outside the cockpit to make sure nothing bad is going on. I can see the cameras. I can check various documents, my performance, all of that. So basically a lot of information. That is what the tablet is. This over here is called the center pedestal. This is the communication panel. Navigation communication, voice communication. And this part is the weather radar.
Etihad 01 Alpha, continue climb maintain flight level 340.
These three levers that you see over here in the red, if there is an engine fire, I will use these three levers to extinguish the fire. Hopefully we will not have that today.
Pakistan 207, report your Mach number.
Where is the horn? There is no horn. There is no horn on the aircraft. You can't honk at people. The air traffic control controls everybody's movement.
13395, good day.
Pakistan 207, report your Mach number please.
0.80 for Pakistan 207.
Pakistan 207.
These things behind us are circuit breakers. If anything goes wrong, the circuit breaker will pop. It's like the circuit breaker in our house. Very similar to that.
Say again for Pakistan 207, please.
Pakistan 207, climb and maintain flight level 340.
I'm going to get the ATIS information for Dubai right now.
Sky Dubai 2106, continue climb flight level 260.
There should be one. If there were horns on aircrafts, then airport workers would go completely deaf. Everybody would be honking here and there. It's good aircrafts don't have horns. Okay, things have gotten a bit chill now. I can explain easily. If you guys have any other questions, you can put them in the chat. So as I was saying, these three red levers, if there is a fire in the engines, I'll use either one or two, depending on which engine is on fire. I can pull it and then rotate it in either directions to pump fire extinguisher inside the engines,
Go ahead.
so that the fire gets extinguished. You can see we're taking a left turn right now. We are we're very close to the ocean right now, and there's nothing below us, it's completely dark.
Maintain Mach point 8 0 Etihad 01 Alpha.
There's the ocean to the left of us.
Karachi Emirates 248, can we go to flight level 360?
Emirates 248.
On is a must.
Yeah, we can climb flight level 360.
It will drive everybody crazy.
Climbing to flight level 360, Emirates 248.
Express India 885, continue climb flight level 320.
Flight level 320, Express India 885.
And Sky Dubai 2106, continue climb flight level 260.
This is going to be one very long flight. Let's see how much time we have left.
The Banana 26, just for information update, the engine shows me on flight level 370 now. So
370. Roughly 1 more hour of flight is left.
Speed Banana 26, yes please. Can you please descend flight level 360 and maintain that for me?
Standby instruments. Okay, good. Dheer is pointing me in all the right directions of what to explain. Thanks, man. So, you can see these very old school looking aircrafts, instruments over here, this one and this one. These are called, I'm not too sure about this one, but this one is, this is a standby instrument, primary flight display. If I have an electrical failure and I lose all the electricity to the aircraft, say this screen goes away, this screen goes away, everything goes away, or I have if I have an electrical failure, it might I can use these standby instruments. Standby instruments, I'm not too sure right now, but they can run off of the hot battery bus, as in they can run off of the battery.
Thank you so much.
And if I lose other instruments, I can rely on this backup instrument. Dheer, correct me if I'm wrong at any point, man.
By 2106, continue
I'm a
climb
bit
flight level
preoccupied
280.
with listening to ATC and talking at the same time, so it's driving me nuts a little bit.
By 454 back in cockpit.
Welcome back.
So these just manage the thrust of the engines, how much power the engines are producing. This is how I'm able to talk to air traffic control.
Express India 885, continue climb flight level 34.
Climb flight level 340, Express India 885. Okay, so we have received our final climb now.
You can continue climb flight level 306.
We are heading right towards the ocean now. We are almost over the ocean now. It's completely pitch black outside. This is why we need to rely on our instruments so heavily, because even if the aircraft is turning right now, you will not be able to tell. There are no outside references. It can cause what is known as disorientation, spatial disorientation. Many air crashes have happened because of spatial disorientation. Always trust your instruments. Always. Body performs very weirdly under G forces. If you're accelerating, you'll think your nose is pointing up and you're climbing, and you'll try to descend even if you are level. This is an example of spatial disorientation. So trust your instruments, and yeah.
By 454, contact master control on 1.123.950 today.
123.950. By 454, thank you. Bye-bye.
So I have some controls over here. This panel is called the EFIS panel, EFIS. This lever zooms in and out, this knob zooms in and out of the map. So I can zoom out and see, get the big picture. I can zoom in. This T/C is my top of climb. This is where I will reach flight level 340, my cruising altitude. I have a tailwind now. Tailwind is good because it's like rowing a boat in a river. If you row a boat upstream, you will be very slow, but if you row the boat downstream, you will be very fast because the water is helping you go faster. So we have a tailwind of 12 knots, and that is why this is good. It will help us go a bit faster. This is that. This knob over here controls the different modes of the navigation display. So I am currently on map. If I turn it to the right, I'll go to the plan mode. So what I can do in the plan mode is I can see what lies ahead. So you can see there is this step button on the FMC, on the CDU. This step button will only come if I put the navigation display into plan mode. If I go to map mode, you can see that step button changes to route data. What this step does is it steps me through every waypoint. So I can click on it and I can check which is the next waypoint, like so. So this is the plan mode. There are other modes as well, VOR and approach, APP. VOR mode may, if I have tuned a VOR, you can see this. If I tune a VOR frequency on the navigation radios and I set a course, it will help me intercept the radial. This is a bit complicated, so I will not get into that right now, but it basically helps me with VORs. Let's see how we are progressing on the flight. I'll just switch to the VATSIM. There, you can spot me, I'm over here, Express India 885. We started from here, we have reached here, we have to go here. So we are like 1/4 of the way over there. And you can see how many aircrafts are there in front of us and behind me. I'll just go with the ground chart now. for Dubai, because after landing in Dubai you have to taxi to the stand as well. So let me just open the ground charts at Dubai. Dubai airport is very, very big and complex. Let us have a look at the charts. So you can see over here, this chart is the ground chart for Dubai. As I said, we'll probably be landing on 10 left, because Dubai usually uses 30 left. Sorry.
Thank you. Good day.
Good day.
So I'll land on 30 left.
By 210
I will plan to vacate by Kilo 9 or Kilo 8, depending on how hard I brake, how late I land, what is my landing speed. I'll either vacate Kilo 9 or Kilo 8, and then I'll try to park on Concourse B, but it depends on where he tells me to taxi. So you can see this one. I can take taxiway Kilo, stand Foxtrot 20, any of these stands. So after landing on the ground, the controller will tell me all these taxiways, they have identifiers. Like you can see this Zulu 6, Zulu 7, Kilo, Uniform, Whiskey, Juliet 2. All of these are taxiways. Air traffic control will tell me what route to follow exactly to reach my gate. But for now, I'll go back to the en route chart. This is a list of all the available charts. I have the approach. For this, the star is the standard terminal arrival route. It's the route I will follow to approach the airport.
Control 123.950.
Master.
So I am expecting the Impet 3 Charlie arrival. This is an arrival. So we have to make like an S turn like this, and then we have to land. So from here I have to go make a big S, and I'll come to this waypoint, Old Oat. From here my arrival will my approach will start. I'll take ILS 30 left, and what that means is from Old Oat, which is my initial approach fix, IAF, I'll go straight, land on the runway. So this is basically kind of a landing briefing. It's not a full briefing. In a full briefing I would provide much more information, but I'll not do that right now. We are above the ocean now. If I switch back to the simulator, it is pitch black outside. There's nothing. You can see the land over there, the landmass, and we are right above the ocean right now. And now we just wait. We are in cruise now. To sit and wait. Dylan is back with us. Hi Dylan. So you can see how busy it gets on takeoff. A lot of people are talking and a lot of things are happening. The scenery in Dubai airport is like, it is so good. So you guys can drop in back for the landing in around 45 minutes. The scenery is amazing. I love flying into Dubai airport.
Dubai 2106 Karachi.
So whoever is watching right now, you guys can put anything in the chat. Anything you guys want to ask, talk about.
Thank you. Dubai 2106 Karachi. Hello, you there?
Karachi, Pakistan 207, request frequency change.
Pakistan 207, brother, you can contact Muscat Control now on 123, correction, 123.905.
1, 2, 3.
Yes, I have to monitor the radio constantly because at any point of time they can give a command to me. So I have to continuously monitor the radio. That is why even if the autopilot is flying the aircraft, it's still quite a lot for the pilots to do. How did you know how much fuel to use? What application to use? Great question. So I use this website called SimBrief. It's my dispatch system. I tell them the flight, the weight of the aircraft, everything, and they calculate, and they based on the routing and the airports, they tell me, they give me a flight plan, they give me an OFP, an operational flight plan. Let me see if I can download it and I can show it to you guys right now. So in the operational flight plan, there is a section which tells me how much fuel I need to carry. Let me just quickly add it to my OBS over here. Okay, so I think you guys can see the operational flight plan now. Let me just check if it came properly on the stream. Yeah, so I'll just close this. So this is an operational flight plan. I'm operating flight Express India 885. Okay, there's something wrong with my, wait, let me open this in Chrome itself.
Karachi Centre, good evening, this is Emirates 607 with you.
Okay, so you guys can see it here now.
1 for 15,000.
Emirates 607, Karachi Control reading identified, Karachi flight level 260.
So here it says 16,640 block fuel. So this is how much fuel I need to take, 16,640 pounds. It tells me my trip, for the trip it's 1 hour and 41 minutes long. For the trip I only need 9,000 pounds, but I need a contingency fuel of 15 minutes, that's 1,379 pounds, 15 minutes. Then to reach my alternate airport, which is Abu Dhabi, I need 3,000 pounds of fuel, that is 30 minutes. Final reserve I need to have roughly 2.4, which is 30 minutes of fuel. So minimum takeoff fuel is this. I can decide to take extra and then I get my takeoff fuel. Then I have my taxi fuel. How much fuel do I need to taxi the aircraft? Roughly 20 minutes of taxi time. I run the APU as well, but that's fine. We add all of these numbers up, we get 16,640. That is how I know how much fuel to carry. This is me, pilot in command. I have to give my signature over here. There's the dispatcher. And then there is my routing. And it has a lot of information that we can skip for now. So let's jump back in the simulator now. And there's not much to see anymore. You can see expressing 885 over here. We are almost halfway to our destination.
Continue climb flight level 300.
Climb flight level 300, Emirates 607.
This is us. We're roughly halfway there. At this point, we'll exit Karachi control, Karachi FIR, which is flight information region, and we'll enter Muscat control. So at this point, the controller will hand us over to the controllers at Muscat, and then they are responsible for us. Even the path given to you is the path given to you, or you decide. We have to file a flight plan. Flight plan is the path that I plan to follow. The company dispatch decides that based on certain parameters, and they file it for us. Here though I have to file, but in the real world the dispatcher files it, and the ATC authorizes it.
Calling, I cannot hear what you're saying. Please fix your audio.
Karachi, Venice, speed by 977, radio check.
Speed by 977.
I'll just wait for this transmission to get over.
Too loud.
Alright, so yeah, so we file the route, we decide the route, we file the route. There are utilities which help us decide the route. The routes have to follow some standard airways and all that. We can't fly wherever we want, but the ATC has to approve the route. So if I open the en route chart over here, you can see there are these numbers written: Alpha 454, Romeo 462, Juliet 120, Bravo 505. These are all airways. Airways join waypoints. We have to always fly on airways. These are like highways in the sky. There are tools which plan your route. The dispatch uses these.
5 You are identified. Continue climb to flight level 200.
Yeah, and then the ATC approves of our path, and then we fly. If the ATC has to give us, so when do you file the flight plan? The flight plan has to be filed before the flight. I'm not sure in real world how early do they file, but on VATSIM I file it 2 to 3 minutes before the flight. In the real world it's filed way more in advance. Dhir can comment on how early they file the flight plan, but yeah. Then how do aircrafts not collide in the air? If so there's the system on the aircraft called the TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System. What the TCAS system does, I'll just show it to you. So this panel is the transponder. The transponder is an instrument on the aircraft that first of all gives information to air traffic control about our aircraft, things like our speed, altitude, who we are, so that they know who they're talking to, where that person is going, they can be tracked. Second thing it does is it has the ability to talk to the aircrafts around me. So if two aircrafts are on a collision path, the transponders talk to each other, they come up with a resolution, and then they advise the pilot to take necessary action. There are two kinds. There is TA, which is traffic advisory, and then there is RA, which is resolution advisory. You can see over here it says TA only, and then there is TARA.
Muscat control on 123.95.
Over to Muscat control at 123.905, Emirates 248. Thank you, Hodafis.
And TCAS, a very good example is coming up now. You see this diamond. You guys can see this diamond with +23 written at TAPDO. This is an aircraft in front of me, which is 2,300 feet above me. This is the TCAS, which is telling me that there's an aircraft in front of me. The transponders are talking to one another, and
I'm afraid got the temperature issue with the latest update.
Thanks for flying. Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers, bye.
Cheers, bye.
Right. So the transponders are talking to one another, and it's telling me that there's an aircraft in front of me, 2,300 feet above me. If we are a traffic advisory is given when there's another traffic pretty close to me, I'll hear a warning in the aircraft say traffic. It's just alerting me of traffic nearby. If we are on an imminent collision course, a resolution advisory will come. One of the transponders will talk to each other and come up with a resolution. So one of the pilots will be told to descend and the other pilot will be told to climb. So it will say either climb or descend, and this instruction overrides the air traffic control. So if you get a resolution advisory, you're immediately supposed to comply so that you don't have a mid-air collision. And traffic advisory is just an oral warning that there is potential traffic nearby which could become a threat. When it does become a threat, there's a resolution advisory. So it will tell the pilots whether to climb or descend. But one of the pilots will climb, one of the pilots will descend. The transponders will talk to one another, come up with a solution, and then tell both the pilots. It will be like a warning inside the cockpit on this, because talking about the lights, there are a lot of lights on the aircraft. Let me go to the outside view and show you guys. You can see this red beacon light on the top and the bottom of the aircraft. That is called the anti-collision light. It's controlled from this button over here, anti-collision. Anti-collision light turns on when you're ready to push back from the gate, and it turns off when you park into the gate. At the ground, when you turn on the anti-collision light, it tells the ground staff to move away from the aircraft because it's no longer safe to be near the aircraft. Either the aircraft is starting to move or the engine is starting, something is happening. After landing, you turn off the anti-collision lights to tell the ground crew that it's safe to approach the aircraft. So they can come, they can attach the baggage conveyor and the stairs and the GPU and the external air conditioning, all the good stuff, and they'll connect the headset also to talk to you in the cockpit. So anti-collision light ka purpose is this. So the next kind of light we have in the aircraft is just a moment. Okay, so Dheer has clarified when we filed the flight plan. Thanks, Dheer.
Up to 885, contact Muscat Control on 123.1
Go to Muscat Control, Express India 885. Thank you for ATC services and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Karachi Center, Fever 977, request to climb to flight level 360.
So Muscat Control is 12395.
Fever 977, and posted the RP closing. Now we can mount the uniform 122.8 grade.
95. I'll just contact Muscat Control and then we'll continue.
Fever 1026 is just to Mike decimal 73.
Adjusting to March 7.3 feedback on out.
It's got about 332, reduce the Mac decimal 74.
Muscat Control, good evening, Express India 885. Flight level 340 just crossed Tapto. 119 miles from Wuset.
Express India 885 Muscat identified, flight level 340.
Maintaining flight level 340, Express India 885.
Two stations at once, got by 454, reduced to Mark decimal 75.
Reduce Mark 75, cut by 454.
Pakistan 207, reduced to Mark decimal 79.
Okay, so what were we talking about before that? TCAS. So yeah, I had explained what TCAS is.
By 454, turn right, heading 330 degrees for separation.
Right heading 330 degrees.
Always square up your heading bug, because in my last flight the controller told me to maintain present heading and I had to fumble around quickly to get my heading right and then set it. So always keep your heading bug squared up with your current heading. Difference between heading and track. You can see there is 256, this straight line, and then there is a triangle slightly to the left of it. 256 is my desired heading, my desired track, and
Skipper 1 and 26, retreat further to Mach decimal 71 for separation.
Decimal 71, Skipper 1 out to 6.
Skipper by 332, maintain Mach decimal 7.
I'm just waiting for ATC to stop talking so I can explain.
Separation.
Until then I'll see the chat. Repetitive flight plan, yeah, that makes a lot of
Skipper by
sense.
454, descent flight level 350.
Right, because the airlines fly the same flights again and again, so they, okay. So that's a repetitive flight plan. That's good to know.
Alright, 603, contact UAE 132.15, goodbye.
123, 125, Emirates 603, g'day.
Just confirm 132.15.
13215, Emirates 603, g'day.
So I have wind from the left pushing me to the right. So it's like the boat problem. In school we used to get this boat problem that you have to row your boat from one end to the other end at the same point, but the river is flowing at this speed. So instead of flying straight, you actually fly you row slanting, so that by the end you reach the right place.
Okay,
same with aircraft.
Descent flight level 300.
Descent flight level 300, Etihad 01 Alpha.
Skipper 1 and 26, reduce to Mach decimal 70.
Decimal 70, Skipper 1 out to 6.
So what is happening is the wind is trying to push me to the right. So to maintain my desired track, which is 256, I have to fly, my aircraft had to fly a little bit to the left. That is my actual heading. That is that small triangle. You can see it's slightly to the left, because the wind is coming from the left, pushing me to the right onto the desired track. So the aircraft does this calculation internally and handles it for me. You can see here this triangle is to the left of my actual track. It says track mag over here, so that's my track, magnetic track. We were talking about the lights, right? So we covered the anti-collision light, then we have the position lights. So for the position lights, turbulence, you can't do anything about it. I mean, of course you can do something about it. You either, if you're flying through weather, you either take a left or right deviation by changing your heading, so you can do that with the autopilot, or you climb up or climb down, descend. You climb up above the turbulence, or you climb or you descend below the turbulence layer. So you can do something about the turbulence. It's not like the autopilot takes care of it. Pilots have to make a conscious decision about what to do and take necessary action after getting appropriate permission from the air traffic control.
Okay, 01 Alpha descend flight level 230, level by pass-off.
Descent flight level 230,
try demonstrating this, but
Etihad 01 Alpha.
it's very busy, so I'll not unnecessarily try to ask for deviation.
6, descent flight level 340.
Heading to 340, Skipper 1 out to 6.
But yeah, to take care of turbulence, we have to decide to do something. So position lights. Position lights are over here. You can see this green light on the right wing and the red light on the left wing. The red light will always be on the left wing of every aircraft. The green light will always be on the right wing of every aircraft. So that you can look at an aircraft and tell which direction it's heading. I'm not sure if that's true. There are strobe lights at the end, blinking white strobe lights pointing forward. There are lights at the back as well, solid white lights, and then there is one flashing light at the tail. These are all strobe lights. These come under position lights. Position lights have two modes. I can put them in strobe or steady. As soon as you enter the active runway and you take off until you land and exit the active runway, you have to keep the strobe lights on. We have the logo lights. Logo lights is this. It's illuminating the tail. You can see this camel over there. If I turn off the logo lights, that light goes off. And if I turn on the logo lights, the light comes on. So basically the logo of the airline will mostly be on the tail of the aircraft. So they call it the logo light. Helps you identify the aircraft.
207, just to mark, decimal 77.
There are wing lights. You can see these are the wing lights. You can see engine and the wing. There's a small dot over here which is illuminating the top of the engine and the top of the wing. So those are the wing lights. If I turn off the wing lights, you can see it's completely dark now. So I'll keep that on. There's wheel well light. So under the aircraft there is the wheel well. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see the lights right now. Okay, you can see this light on the wheels. That is to mostly inspect the wheel well after while you're on the ground. That covers all of these lights.
Pakistan 207, maintain mark decimal 75.
This is the taxi light. It's on the nose wheel of the aircraft. You turn it on while taxiing.
Pakistan 207, maintain flight level 340, please.
Before starting to taxi, you have to turn on the taxi lights. Runway turn-off lights are to the left and to the right. They help you see a bit broader. Let me see if we can see those right now. They're on the left and the right hand side. They illuminate the left and right hand side of the cockpit outside, so you can see a bit better. Yeah, you can see this express and this express being illuminated. That is runway turn-off lights. If I turn it off, you can see the lights are off. You put these lights when you're entering the active runway. Sometimes you can also turn it on while taxiing. I think it's based on the SOPs of the country. I'm not entirely sure. These are the landing lights. Landing lights are also on the landing gears, and they are very bright lights. Very bright lights. Below 10,000 feet, you have to keep them on.
Skyway 332, descent class 7350.
So these are all the lights in the aircraft, and when you are supposed to use them. All the lights have different meanings, and this is when you're supposed to use them. What else can we talk about? Let me see. Okay. So Prithvi asked if I have to monitor the comm all the time. Mostly yes, but then there is this thing called as a cell-cal. Cell-cal, I'm not sure on the entire usage of it, but one use case of cell-cal is when you're flying over the Atlantic Ocean, for example.
01 Alpha, contact UAE 132.15, bye-bye.
3215 for Etihad 01 Alpha, good day, thank you.
Let me just tune the next frequency.
Emirates 463 with you, requesting contact flight level 380.
Emirates 463, report your flight level.
It's 380 right now.
Emirates 463, thank you, identify flight level 380.
Okay, so back to what we were talking about.
Data, this is Skyway 454. We are heading to 75. I'm assuming for that. We are now back in cockpit.
Skyway 454, proceed direct impent, speed 300 knots.
Proceed direct impent, speed 300, Skyway.
to 1926, speed 280 knots, and contact QA 132.15, bye-bye.
Speed 280 knots and 132.15.
Pakistan 207, maintain flight level 280, please.
Basically, Cellcal code is ATC's way of directly contacting you if you're not monitoring the radios. There are use cases of this, only one that I'm aware of. That is while crossing the Atlantic, you use the HF radio, not the VHF radio. VHF radio doesn't have as much range as the HF radio. HF radio has constant static in the background, so it will give you a headache. I've heard that they turn down the HF radio volume. So if ATC has to contact them, they send them a Cellcal message on this code ARCE, Alpha Romeo Charlie Echo. This is
Emirates 46.
unique for each aircraft.
For about 10 minutes.
And the ATC can contact you on. They can send you a ping on that, so your aircraft will make a noise, and that's how you know that air traffic control wants to talk to you. So you again go back to the radio. Mostly this is the only use case I know is in Atlantic crossing, where you use the HF radio instead of the VHF radio, and HF radio is very noisy, so they turn down the volume, and then they use Cellcal. There might be other examples Dhir can illuminate for us. Then you can see the different pages in the FMC.
By 322, decent level 230, level pass off, if possible, and expedite, there's no traffic behind.
The next page is basically my waypoints. I can set the departure and level from here, so in arrival I have to set which runway I'll be landing on. So I'm expecting ILS 30 left, imped 3 Charlie arrival. I'll quickly check the METAR ones.
Descent 230.
Okay, let me see if I can show this to you guys. Pilots get their weather in the form of this thing called as a METAR, and METAR is alright. So you can. So I'll just ask for Dubai METAR. Dubai code is Oscar Mike Delta Bravo. Sure. So this is the METAR at Dubai right now. So Dubai, taken on the 7th of the month at 1700 Zulu, that's 5 p.m. 10:30 basically. This was taken at 10:30, roughly 40 minutes ago. Winds are 340 degrees, 6 knots. Cav okay means clouds and visibility okay. Temperature is 37 degrees, dew point is 27 degrees, QNH is 0999. No significant change is expected. This is how we get our weather.
132.15, bye-bye.
Now I'll get the ATIS, Dubai ATIS.
Dubai 332.
I'll not be able to show the ATIS on.
132.15.
I can't show the ATIS on stream. It's somehow not picking it up, but the ATIS currently says arrival runway 30 left as expected. Surface winds 340 degrees, 6 knots. 340 degrees, so we have a slight crosswind from the right. No. Right, a slight crosswind from the right. Temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Dew point is 27. QNH is 999. Expect ILS approach. Okay, so we have information delta. We're pretty close to Dubai now. We'll start our approach in another 15 minutes, I guess. I'll just put in the I'll contact ATC, get my expected arrival route, and then I'll put it into the FMC. I'll put in the expected right now, and then we'll confirm it with ATC. So this should give us a top of descent now. You can see the aircraft is turning, but looking outside there is no way to tell that the aircraft is turning except your instruments. So always trust your instruments. You can see this T/D written over here. That's my top of descent. So roughly This is the progress page. It tells me the progress of the flight. We're 90 nautical miles from top of descent. VSET was expected at 1737 and top of descent is 1749. So in another 12 minutes we'll be doing
contact UAE 132.115. Goodbye.
Master Control Express India 885, are we expecting the imped 3 Charlie arrival for runway ILS runway 30 left?
Express India 885, that should be given by the center controller in about 136 miles. There should be the imped, correct.
Roger that, thank you. Okay, so I confirmed with them it's the imped 3 Charlie arrival. But he said officially the approach controller will give it to me, the area controller, the center controller will give it to me. We are 17 knot tailwind right now, so that is very good. But I'm starting to catch up on the aircraft in front of me. He's 2,400 feet above me, so he's not a threat at the moment. But if he gets any closer and the diamond becomes yellow, you might get to hear the TCAS advisory saying traffic. Minimum 1000 feet separation has to be there. This is under RVSM, reduced vertical separation minima. This is certain airways where aircraft which are certified for RVSM can fly as close as 1000 feet from each other. So we need to be at least 1000 feet apart in an RVSM airspace, which is reduced vertical separation minima. Alright, so we're looking at the different pages. The legs page gives me every single waypoint that I have to fly to. Climb page tells me climb performance. Cruise page, which we are at right now, this tells me my cruise performance. I'm cruising at Mach 751. What is Mach? Mach speed is my speed relative to the speed of sound. Mach 1 means I'm flying at the speed of sound. Mach 75, as you can see over here, means I'm flying at 75% of the speed of sound. At higher altitudes and higher speeds, this is how ATC coordinates separation between traffic by speed using Mach numbers. So you can see Mach 75 over here. So we are flying currently at 75% speed of sound in air. For landing, when to select what degree of braking level? Okay, it's a great question by Dheer. All my knowledge is being tested right now. Okay. This is auto brake. It has 3 levels, 1, 2, 3, and then there is max. If there's a short runway, this is auto brake. So as soon as I land, there are these switches on the landing gear called weight on wheel switch.
Must catch on the readability 5 and maintain level 320. I've got aircraft above you.
Roger that. Maintain level 320. Thank you, sir.
So this is the auto brake. As soon as the aircraft detects that it has landed, how does it detect? There are sensors called weight on wheel switches. As soon as there is as soon as the aircraft weight falls on the wheels, on the landing gear, the aircraft knows that it has touched down. Spoilers are deployed, which is the speed brake if I have armed them, and auto brakes will deploy. The aircraft will automatically start braking. There are degrees of braking, how hard the aircraft is going to brake. 1 is the lowest, 2 is higher, 3 is pretty high, and max is like emergency braking. It's like maximum braking. If it's a short runway, like Mangalore airport is a very short runway, we'll use higher braking, high value braking, auto brake. If it's a very very long runway and I have to vacate near the end, I'll use slightly lower braking, because we anyways have to vacate later and we have a lot of room to stop. The runway condition also influences this, but I'm not fully clear on how that is. That Dhir can elaborate. If it's a wet runway, do we use a higher value? These aircrafts are equipped with anti-skid. You can see anti-skid is written at the bottom. So it's anti-skid will not let the aircraft tires lock up. So if it's a wet runway and you apply like maximum braking pressure, the brakes will not necessarily give you the requested braking. They will brake in a manner which does not lock up the tires, because if you start skidding on the runway, then you will not have as good braking action. There's another very interesting phenomenon called aquaplaning. If the runway surface is wet, means it's raining, you have to perform a positive touchdown, which means a slightly firm landing, because there's a thin layer of water on the runway. If you land too soft, your wheels will not break the surface of water and they'll skid over the layer of the surface of water. You will have very, very bad braking action. That's called aquaplaning. So that's why in rainy weather you have to do a slightly firm landing touchdown, so that the wheels break through the layer of water and you're able to brake and not aquaplane. I think they do set higher value of auto brake when it's a wet surface, because you want to get the maximum braking action. Aircraft automatically take care of anti-skid.
Escape waiting 106, levels flammable 3 future.
102, thank you for separation, turn left heading 235.
Your left heading 225, escape waiting 106.
Alright, so those of us who were there with me on takeoff, you saw me turn off the air conditioning before turning on the engines. Next time you're on a flight, try to notice this. When you're pushing back, right before you hear the engines, or not right before, a couple of minutes before you hear the engine start, you will hear everything go very silent. That there is this clear air conditioning noise, that fan noise. Just pay attention next time you're on a flight, and that sound will turn off. That is because air conditioning has to be turned off during engine start. Now why that is over here we have this switch which is called APU. It says APU. APU stands for auxiliary power unit. APU is a small engine in the tail section of the aircraft, which does a lot of things. Firstly, it gives electricity. So electricity on an aircraft, electricity and air conditioning on an aircraft come from the engines. The engines are rotating, they are like a turbine, We generate electricity also. We use that electricity to do everything, even air conditioning. So now the APU helps us start the engines. How we start the engines is we first dry run the engine blades. So we use compressed air from the APU, direct them to the engines, and the engines start rotating because of the air pressure. Once they reach a certain speed, I can introduce the fuel, and the starters ignite the fuel, and then there is a self-contained combustion inside the engine and the engine start up.
Descent flight level 230 ms.
Just a moment, there's some issue with the traffic.
Yumiko, Uniform Mark Echo Kilo Oscar.
Consider Yumiko, stay west 1.
Descent flight level 230 by Paso, express India 885. Okay, I've started the approach now. I have to concentrate on this. So I'll get back to explanations in a bit. We're in approach mode now, so we'll talk after the landing now.
Sir, schedule west 106. Can you confirm Yumiko is Uniform Mike India Kilo Oscar?
Negative, it's Uniform Mike Echo Kilo Oscar.
Oh, okay, roger that.
So he has asked us to be flight level 230 at Pasov. Flight level 230 at Pasov. I think I missed the transmission. He sent it to me via text. Flight level 230, level by Pasov. So what I'll do is I'll go to Pasov, I'll put 230 and I'll place it here and I'll execute. So it puts a limit on Pasov. Now my this thing over here, this diamond is at the bottom and it says 550. I'm 500 feet higher than what I should be right now. So there are ways I can descend faster, but the number is slowly reducing, so I'm not going to take any action at the moment. We're descending at 2000 feet per minute, 32,000 feet. Speed is 260 knots. Dheer has been absolutely instrumental in this live stream. I would not have known what to talk about, but he kept giving me pointers of what to explain and taking Viva, as someone mentioned on stream, on chat. So huge thanks to Dheer. I was able to explain a lot of things on stream.
Number 248, contact UA 132.
He watches every single video of mine and gives me feedback on what to improve for my next video. So he's like, he's one of the most important persons to this channel.
Sorry, 762, Mumbai's offline, Unicom 1228, bye-bye. Uniform 122, Malaysia, Qatar 762, bye.
Okay, the number is starting to go up now, so I need to help the aircraft to descend. I'll put it into flight level change mode and I'll deploy the speed brake.
Express India 885, contact UAE 132.15, bye-bye.
3215 UAE control, Express India 885, have a great evening, bye-bye. Okay, so we have to contact the next controller now. What is... This is... UA radar. UA radar, good evening, Express India 885, descending flight level 270, crossing flight level 270, descending flight level 230.
Express India 885, UA radar, good day, cleared impact 3 Charlie, arrival.
Impact 3 Charlie, arrival for ILS 30 left, Express India 885. I'm not sure if he said ILS 30 left, he just cleared me for the approach. Yeah.
248, cross impact altitude 12,000 feet or below.
Cross impact flight level 120 or below, Emirates 248.
So what I did in the middle to help the aircraft descend faster was I deployed the speed brakes. Speed brakes are spoilers on the surface of the wing. I'm not sure if you can see them right now. There, you can see them come up and down. It helps the aircraft slow down and descend faster. As I cross 16,000 feet rough, or maybe 10,000 feet, I'll turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. I'm not sure in real life how I decide to turn on or turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. Turbulence is definitely if you are passing through choppy wind, you will turn on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Cancel speed restriction.
Otherwise, I've heard people say 10,000 feet crossing may you turn it on or off. If you're climbing or descending respectively, or there can be other criteria as well. So I guess if Dhir is here, he can help us understand this a little bit. But for this flight, I'll just turn it on at 10,000 feet.
Jet 468 radio check. Express India 885, direct impact, descent of flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, direct impact, Express India 885. So descending to 15,000 feet now and going direct to impact. So we got a big shortcut. Impact already has a restriction to be below 12,000 feet.
Have it 468, radio check. Have it 248, cancel speed restriction.
We can start to see the coastline now. We're just coming over the coastline of UAE. I have to select the reference, landing reference speed now, it's called VREF. So I'll do a flaps 40 landing, 133 knots. I'll just set it over here. So we land at VREF plus 5. So I land at 138 knots. This is the ILS frequency for 30 left, 111.3. I'll keep that in also, so that later I don't have to fumble around. 1113 That's the ILS frequency. ILS is the instrument landing system. It comprises of glide slope and localizer. Glide slope helps me align the aircraft laterally for landing. Glide slope helps me align the aircraft vertically for landing, and localizer helps me align the aircraft laterally for landing, so that in both X and Y, X and Z, you can say, I am aligned. So how high I am supposed to be, and whether I am to the left, to the right, or lined up perfectly with the runway. So left and right lining up with the runway, localizer does. Glide slope helps me be at the right altitude, at the right distance from the airport, so that I am not too high or not too low. If I am too high, I'll miss the runway. If I am too low, it'll end up very badly. So ILS comprises of these two systems, and I have tuned its frequency in my navigation radio. Here you can see it's written nav. It's the navigation radio.
248 UAE.
I'll pre-tune the ground frequency tower and ground frequency now.
248.
11875 is tower.
MS 248, I think you switched the wrong frequency there. You can contact arrivals now, 124 decimal minus.
11875 and
over to
ground is 11835.
MS 248. Okay, bye.
So it's on COM 1 now. I'm on COM 2 right now. You can just switch over to COM 1.
Radar, good afternoon. Qatar 572, Imperial 410, inbound Kaksop.
Qatar 572, UA radar, good day, squawk 1712.
Squawking 1712, Qatar 572.
Express India 885, descend to altitude 1000 feet by QNH 999 hectopascal.
Descend 1000 feet, QNH 999, Express India 885.
Express India 885, correct, cancel star speed.
Cancelling star speed 885. So I have to descend to 11,000 feet. QNH 999.
Qatar 572 identified.
And we can cancel the start speed, so you can slow down if you want.
VistaJet 468, leave my airspace shortly. Radar service terminated. Monitor you to come 122 decimal 8. Bye-bye.
We'll do... VNAV disconnected, we'll do a flight level change right now.
Hello, this is Emirates 463 with you, flight level 310, descending to flight level 230.
Emirates 463, UA radar, hello. Cleared Impaired 3 Charlie arrival.
Impaired 3 Charlie arrival, Emirates 463.
I'll use auto brakes too, because I need to vacate fairly quickly. I don't want to delay vacating, but not so hard braking also that I choose 3, so 2 is a good option for us. He asked me to cancel star speed. I'm not entirely sure why, but it means that I don't really need to follow this 230, the speed that it says. I can do whatever I want. So I can basically go ahead and delete this. I can follow whatever speed I want. So I'm clear to 11,000 feet. Above 11,000 feet I can maintain higher speed than 250 knots. Below 10,000 feet you're supposed to maintain maximum 250 knots. Since it's cleared me to 11,000 feet, I guess I can keep a higher speed. Although here it says 11,000 below 230. We'll see how it plays out.
Express India 885, contact arrival 124 decimal minus. Bye-bye.
Over to the Bay arrivals, Express India 885. Thank you for your service and enjoy reclaim. Bye bye. Okay, 124.9.
LL 716 UA radar.
The approach, good evening, Express India 885, MP3 Charlie arrival, crossing 12,700 feet, descending 11,000 feet.
Express India 885, Dubai arrivals, expect ILS approach runway 30 left to information Delta current, QNH, man and capacity.
Expecting ILS runway 30 left, QNH 999, and we have information Delta.
Express India 885, Roger, turn left, heading 280 degrees, descend unrestricted, altitude 6,000 feet.
Left heading 280 degrees, descend unrestricted 6,000 feet, Express India 885.
Express India 885, ready speed 230 knots.
Speed 230 knots, Express India 885. So now I'm getting what is called vectors for my approach. So they're giving me headings, speeds and altitudes to fly. So what I'll do now is I'll just sequence the runway directly. So I'll find the runway, I'll put it as the first, and I'll put an intercept course of 300. So it will give me this extended runway center line. Let me confirm it's 300. It is 299. And however we might, alright, good, I'll just take 299 and I'll execute it, and now I have the runway extended center line. Since I'm on radar vectors, I can just sequence the runway directly. I'll deploy the speed brakes now and descend a bit faster. Let me
885, contact Dubai director 127.9 at call sign only.
Dubai director 27.9 call sign only, Express India 885. So I have to go to director 27.9, and he said call sign only, so I'll just say my call sign, nothing else.
0 left. 0123, speed 16 knots to 4 DMA, contact tower 118.75.
11875 the tower, 160 it's 0123, good night.
Dubai director, good evening, Express India 885.
Express India 885, director, hello, descend altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000 feet, Express India 885. You can see the lights in the top right corner and towards the right of our aircraft. That is the city of Dubai. I'll turn on the fasten seatbelt signs now, and we'll give a bling to the cabin crew as well.
Emirates 248, speed 190 knots.
190 knots, Emirates 248.
Express India 885, descend altitude 2,000 feet, cleared ILS approach 1830 left, report established.
Descend 2,000 feet, clear for ILS 30 left, will go, Express India 885. He cleared me for the ILS, so I'll arm localizer. And I have captured localizer.
We're established on the localizer, runway 30 left.
I will also arm approach now, which will arm glide slope.
7, 160 knots to 4.
Okay, we're not in range, so I'll keep it at localizer.
160 till 4, Emirates 248.
We're not in the range of the glide slope right now, so
Emirates 248, contact Dubai Tower 118.75.
I need to descend a bit faster now, so I'll
Over to
deploy
tower
speed brakes.
118.75, Emirates 248, thank you, bye bye.
cabin crew seats for landing. Okay, so we're intercepting the glide slope. We're above the glide slope right now, so I'm trying to descend a bit aggressively at the moment. Unavailable glide path. That's why it failed the first time. Okay, I can approach. I can hit the glide slope button and should capture it for us. Express India 885 fully established. ILS 30 left.
Express India 885, speed 210 knots.
Speed 210 knots, Express India 885. Fully established means I am both on the localizer and the glide slope. As me to reduce the speed, I need to use my speed brakes now because I have a slight tailwind and this is becoming difficult. You can slowly see Dubai coming into view. This could be the Burj Al Arab, I'm not sure. I'll dim the lights now because we need our eyes to be adjusted for landing. I'll dim all the lights. And we're almost at the speed we need, so I'll...
Express India 885, speed 180 knots till 7, 160 knots till 4.
Speed 180 knots until 7 DME, 160 knots until 4 DME, Express India 885. So that is a pretty complicated, okay. So you can see this DME, this is how far I am from the runway. 11 miles. Until 7 miles I have to maintain speed 180 knots. Until 6 miles I have to maintain speed 160 knots. After that I can reduce to my approach speed. I need to use my speed.
885, contact tower 118.75.
Port to tower 11875, expense 885. Okay, taking, bye bye. And now we'll go to tower frequency 11875 tower.
I'm looking for the Delta concourse.
And I'll deploy and I'll extend the flaps now, they'll help us slow down as well.
3,
That's 5.
case, continue right kilo, stand Foxtrot 11.
Right kilo, Foxtrot 110123.
Dubai Tower, good evening, Express India 885, ILS 30 left.
Express India 885, Dubai Tower, continue approach, runway 30 left, number 2, plan to vacate kilo 8.
Continue approach, number 2, plan to vacate kilo 8, Express India 885. So he's asked me to plan to vacate by...
861 on...
Okay, so I can reduce my speed now. Until...
Okay,
I'm a bit fast.
Dubai Tower, via...
I can take gear down flat shift now.
Continue taxi Papa, holding point November
Actually,
9er, hold short
yeah, up
30
until
right.
4 DME, right.
Continue taxi via November, hold from November 9, runway 30 right, goodbye 86.
Turn lights on. Okay, I can turn on the AP as well, it's fine. I'll take...
Goodbye 861.
We're at 4 DME almost
November 9er, line up and wait runway 30 right.
Via November 9, line up and wait runway 30 right, goodbye 861.
And 4 DME, so we can go 138 now, which was our VREF plus 5. 138 flaps full. And I'll take manual flight now. I'll turn off the autopilot.
Emirates
We don't have landing clearance
248,
still.
vacate left kilo 8, continue left Juliet 2, hold
We'll
Juliet
get a
2
very
Bravo.
late landing clearance.
Vacate Kilo 8,
So we should
continue
slow down
Juliet 2,
now.
hold Juliet 2 Bravo, Emirates 248.
Dubai 332, I'm disconnect. Thank you very much, NHC. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you for flying back. Express India 885, expect a late landing clearance, wind 330, 3 knots.
Expecting late landing clearance, 885. Yeah, so we are very close to the runway, we still don't have a landing clearance. Pappy lights say I'm a bit low.
Emirates 248, expedite, continue Juliet 2, Juliet stand. Delta, disregard. Emirates 248, continue right kilo, hold kilo Lima, break. Express India 885, traffic vacating kilo 12, wind 330, 3 knots, runway 30 left, clear to land.
Clear to land 30 left, Express 885. So 15 seconds before landing, we have received our clearance.
Emirates 248, expedite, continue right taxi kilo, hold kilo Lima.
100.
I'm a bit lost. I'm on Juliet 2, I think.
40.
Emirates 248, affirm. If you take the next right and continue taxi kilo, expedite.
10.
Speed brake lock, reverse is normal. Auto brakes on.
I'll take next right to kilo.
100 knots checked. 80 knots, reverse is down.
861 by November 9er, wind 330, 3 knots, runway 30 right, clear for takeoff.
Number 9, runway 30 right, clear for takeoff, and sorry for quite a little bit of moving over
Manual brake, auto brake off.
Emirates 248,
Straight down, flaps up.
missed kilo, that's not a problem, continue Zulu, hold Zulu Hotel.
Next left is what we have to take kilo 8.
Zulu, hold,
I was looking at the
hotel,
chart, so I went off this interline a little bit.
Express India 885, vacate left kilo 8, continue left Juliet 2, stand Delta 8.
Stand Delta 8, vacating on kilo 8, left on Juliet 2, Express India 85. So I have to go to Juliet 2. That is the first left after I vacate this point. I'll clean up the aircraft and shut down all the lights in a bit because this is very busy. Forgot the stand. Second stand for Express India 885.
Express India 885, continue Juliet to Juliet, stand Delta 8.
Juliet 2, Juliet, stand Delta 8, Express India 885. So we are on Juliet 2 right now. Juliet, stand Delta 8. Let me see where is Delta 8. Okay, Delta 8 is to our left. Okay, time to clean up the aircraft.
Emirates 248, contact Dubai ground 118.35.
118.35, Emirates 248.
APU is available.
Express India 885, continue taxi stand Delta 8, monitor Dubai ground 118.35.
Canadian Delta 8, monitor ground 118.35, Express India 885. Good evening, bye-bye. But the scenery is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the best airports that I've seen in this simulator. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, but we have a lot of work to do. Okay, monitor ground.
Foxtrot 103, Emirates 248.
I have to take a left.
Emirates 248, just confirm with stand Foxtrot 10.
Yeah, we have to go Delta 8. So take a left
Foxtrot
here.
10, Emirates 248.
Auto brakes off. Auto throttle warning off. We should have a ground marking which will tell us which is Delta 8. So there's another aircraft landing. It's 4 miles from us right now. But look at this. Absolutely beautiful scenery. This is Delta 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08. This is where we're going. We have some dead bugs also on the windscreen, so this aircraft is pretty realistic that way. We have a dead bug over here. We have 2 dead bugs over here. Okay, did we miss the stand? No. The next is Delta 5. There are ground markings also. So Delta 5, Delta 6, Delta 7, Delta 8. We'll turn on the lights now, or we'll turn them on at the gate. I don't have GSX at the moment, otherwise you could have seen the ground marshal us into the gate. So this is Delta 7. We have to take the next left. That is Delta 8. Cleaning up the aircraft a little bit for the next crew who will take over the aircraft. It's always nice to clean up the aircraft. Delta 8. To take a left over here. There's the baggage cart, and I can also turn off the landing lights, otherwise it will blind the gate agents. You don't want to taxi faster than 6 or 7 knots when pulling into the gate. Okay, just a little bit more ahead.
Emirates 248 at stand Foxtrot 10, we're disconnecting. Thank you for ATC and have a good night.
Thanks for flying, Jada.
Parking brake set, APU on, engine start levers to cut off, electrical hydraulic off, probe heat off, yaw damper off, fuel pumps off, and we'll give it a couple of seconds before turning off the anti-collision light. We can request for the air bridge to be connected, so there you can see the air bridge is approaching the aircraft. Wheel well lights illuminating the ground, you can see that. And we can turn off the anti-collision lights. We'll request for wheel chocks and ground power and air conditioning. Express India 885 is on the block, stand Delta 8. Thank you for ATC services and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.
And Express, thanks for flying, Enjoy there.
Okay, and with that our flight plan is closed. Ground power will be available shortly. I'll turn off AP after that. Clean it up. Altitude set to 10,000. Heading to 000. Speed to 100. Flight directors off. Shell lights are set. And shortly we'll have ground power available. I'll turn on ground power and we can turn off the APO. Transponder can go off. Standard code 2000. And we have ground power available. Ground power is on, APU is off, fuel pumps off. And that concludes our flight. A big thank you to everyone who joined the flight stream. This was my very first flight stream and live stream on YouTube, and it has been pretty awesome. So thanks for joining me here, and I hope it was entertaining and I could teach you guys something about the aircraft. That's all. Good night. Bye.